evening, Leatherheads. It's time for another week of the pod.
Oh no! Oh no!
Let's just say, if you're here to put down some money on games, don't listen to Savannah. Me and Wes might be the best option when we get to the picking, but Robbie last week also let his biases get in the way, so you never know. But without further ado, we're here with
Savannah Colbert,
Atwood,
and Robbie,
and
also Wes calling in.
Yep, and I'm your host of the evening, the Arnizzle.
and this podcast is brought to you by Smirnoff
Ice.
Red, White, and Berry.
Yeah, because we do support the troops here, unlike some companies. All right, let's. No, because I'm employed.
Don't you work for that company?
Let's just leave them out of it.
Well, I might be out of a job.
Okay, that has nothing to do with college football, so.
All right, first of all, let's talk about Nick Saban.
My dude.
He snapped on a bitch.
See, if we said that's sexist, but since Savannah said it, it's cool.
I wasn't calling her a bitch. That's the thing.
Oh,
Just,
okay.
you know,
It was
Nick
a noun.
Saban.
not-
it was the phrase,
Yeah.
snapped on a bitch.
Nick Saban is a messy bitch. He's a thought. He's a nasty. He's a nasty hoe. All that.
Well, would you say that Nick Saban went off Queen, or is he now like a little princess?
Nick Saban, go off, go off, King.
Oh, he went up a level.
Ryan, I would
He
be.
can go off.
I'm wondering, like,
Emperor.
what is Ryan's take? Being like,
Hey,
A
you're the
perspective.
Being
journalist.
a journalist,
Yeah.
how do you feel about it?
Ooh.
you're a prospective member of the
Okay,
media. What is
Before
your
he
take?
answers this, can you guys just imagine, like, somebody
Ryan.
snapping on
Oh my
Ryan like
God.
that? He'd be, I'm so sorry.
What if I dropped Nick Saban? Like, he said that, I was like, oh, hell no.
He would not do
But
that.
see,
I mean-
but see, you wouldn't do that. Like, Nick Saban would just, like, get in your face and start yelling like that.
I'd probably
and
just
Ryan
start
would just be
laughing.
like,
He'd start,
oh,
The cameraman goes to me, and I'm just like,
I'm sorry, and just walks away.
Nick Saban is only like 5'6", I think. So I think you might be able to take him, Ryan.
Is he really that short?
oh,
Yes.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
tall.
oh,
plus,
yeah.
plus he's pushing what, like
Tiny.
early 70s?
Yeah, he's kind of old. He's like in his 60s.
If you couldn't beat him, you just wouldn't deserve to live.
Yeah, but it's Nick Saban. It's like against the
He'd scare
law of the
me.
United States
You're-
to punch him.
You would never be able to go into the state of Alabama ever again if you punched Nick Saban.
Like, I don't like Alabama, but you can respect Nick Saban regardless.
Alabama.
Like, there's God and there's Nick Saban. Same tier, basically. Like,
Nick Saban could run for governor on just a platform of like,
Well, he got
I
like
don't.
he got enough write-in votes for the Alabama governor race that like they actually had to count all of the votes that he got.
oh my God.
Hell yes.
That's hilarious.
I just thought it was funny, like, the lady, well, I think her name was, like, Maria. I don't know her last name. But she actually, like, I thought it was worded decently well. And then he, like, snapped. Like, but
Well, I mean,
I guess I understand because a lot of people have been asking. But also, when you're getting paid the checks like him, you know someone's about to ask that question. Like,
but
Yeah.
he's gotten asked the same question for months now, and I feel like he kind of answered it.
It's been like ever since after the national championship
Yeah, I
game.
mean,
but after the first game,
he started Tua.
He
Tua
should've
played
known.
really good, and Hurts didn't play that great. So
I was gonna say,
like, I
after
feel
the
like
first game, I feel like it was reasonable for her to ask again, to be like, okay, now that we've been through a game, now how do you feel?
but I
he
feel like
was not having
feeling
it.
it,
He
no.
was not having it.
I just love that, like, I feel like everyone has kind of been meme-worthy, and now Nick Saban is meme-worthy. He's out there, like, everyone's just using that audio for anything they don't agree with.
To his credit, or to the reporter's credit, like when he did hashtag go off, like she did just kind of like right away, just like had the next question on deck. You know, like she didn't.
She took it
freak
like
out
a
or
champ.
anything.
Yeah.
I didn't even see like the rest of the interview. I just saw like her ask that question, Saban go off, and then like I just saw that on
The
ESPN.
little clip, yeah.
I just thought it was funny. She was like, "I hear you," and then she had the other question. Like,
Yeah.
Professional.
I would have died if she had like snapped. Oh,
Listen here, Frodo.
all right. Well, yo, if anyone said that, they would have some major stones. All right.
She's like, okay, Napoleon, calm down. Calm down.
All right. Well, actual queen. What's the next topic?
I'll let you read this one because I don't want to.
Oh,
wanna
okay.
That was about the gayest thing you could have said. Actual queen.
All right. So, as we all know, because it's not even one of the games of the week, because Miami got torched by LSU, why can Mark Richt not win the big games? And I think that's just because he's soft, all right?
He's never won the big games.
Never. That's why he got fired from Georgia.
Did he ever win the SEC?
No.
Like the SEC championship, or just the East?
Because the closest chance he got is when him and Alabama tied, and Georgia didn't even get to play in the SEC championship.
He can win rivalry games, not important games. And, like, rivalry games, I would more so credit that to the players just because that gets them hopped up. But
Wes, you got any takes?
Not really. I mean, coaching is hard, especially at that level. So I mean, it could be anything from the players to just bad luck. You know, it could be any number of factors. I mean, I'll say this: like, I think he's a good coach still, but
he's a good guy.
like,
I think
but like his great grandfather like pissed off at a magical woman in like Slovenia and didn't carry her up a mountain like he said he would. And
Oh.
so she cursed his whole family. That's the only thing I know. So I wouldn't hire him as my head coach. But
that story was completely off the dome, right, Wes? Like,
yeah,
No.
in
Just
no
came up with
way
that.
was that
No
completely
movie
lifted.
reference.
In no way was that completely lifted from a popular young adult novel and or movie starring Shia LaBeouf.
This is this week's Vine story, basically. Like, facts that we didn't know, but Wes knew.
I think Rick is a really good coach, and he's a really good guy, but he, like,
You don't make it sound like you know him on a personal level.
Well, he's
He's a-
like
Oh,
he's
Mark.
like really religious
Yeah.
and like every
He's
tweet
the guy.
Where you
I'm
going?
sorry.
every tweet he puts out, he's like "you family" at the end.
Oh,
Like
but he
he
like,
loves the team. He's a nice guy.
he just
but-
can't win the games that matter.
but
Yeah.
we all know the nice saying: nice guys never win.
He always
It's nice guys finish last, jackass.
Well, that means they never win.
No one phrase.
I think Miami needs another Jimmy Johnson who just doesn't care how they act and lets them play ball. So
Dude, the NASCAR driver, he's also falling off.
I'll give
I'm
him that.
just-
But he's also known for, tripping over his own dick and losing a couple of games a year.
That's a power move.
He
If
really
you're
should not lose.
Like Pitt last year.
Yeah, I mean, they got dicked by Pitt last year.
Well, Pitt is actually decent.
Didn't they
We'll
finish
get onto that later.
5-7 last year?
No.
Yeah, it was not even a 500 record.
Yeah, but Larry Fitzgerald came from there, so I mean.
Like 30 years ago.
Like, yeah.
And a starting NFL quarterback, Nathan Peterman, also went
Also
there.
ass. He's also only starting for Buffalo.
Which transcends. No, it doesn't transcend. It transfers us to our next topic. Will Tennessee ever be back? Robbie, this is all you, my dude. As he's pouring a lot of substances into his head right now. What do you think?
I mean, eventually, yes. Because, Alabama went through it. They went through it from, the late 80s up until Saban got there. They were just horrible. We just got to find the right coach, and eventually we'll come back. But I think Pruitt can be good. He has a really good staff. And he's recruiting really good. But Butch Jones, He's still haunting us because those players suck.
I feel like the more like college football evolves, we'll just see changes. You know, teams aren't going to stay good forever, and they're not going to stay bad forever. So,
Wes, what you got?
I mean, my inner Tennessee fan wants to say that we will be back at some point, but I'm kind of with Robbie. I think it'll take at least a couple of years. Like, and I think we're in the right direction, but there's still, I think, a recovery period post Butch Jones. You know what I'm saying? It's just.
I think Pruitt's got like a 5-year contract, and I mean, by the end of that, if he's a good coach, he'll have us turned around in the right direction. Like, I'm not saying we're going to win a national championship in 5 years, but we should be a lot more competitive by then.
And if he's not a good coach, you're thinking about 3 years, he's on the hot seat.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, going to the division rival, Atwood. As a Kentucky fan, you think Tennessee's ever going to be back?
you
For
don't
sure.
know what that's like. Kentucky's never been there.
But at least our team is 1-0, unlike Miami. But anywho, I don't want to hear it. Don't even say
And
no.
Tennessee.
But honestly, I think Tennessee will be back, especially if they have the mentality they had the first half all year. Because, I mean, they did play a really good West Virginia team, even though the quarterback is a steroid taker. But
West Virginia was a lot better than I expected them to be. I don't know if that was like a product of our offensive line just being that bad still. But Will Greer, he's pretty solid. I hate him, but he's pretty solid.
he might be good when you take steroids,
Yeah. But I mean, like,
PEDs.
we'll definitely be back at some point. 'Cause, I mean, Miami, like, they have no tradition, really, other than, like, that span, like, was it, like, in the 80s?
They were nothing before.
Recruit
He said it was
They were like
That's to be bleeped, but I think y'all all know what he said.
so they were like nothing before like the early 80s.
Yeah, it
like
was
no
like-
one ever even heard of them. It was a small private school.
Yeah.
Like rich white kids went there, and that was it.
Yeah, and they had that stint in, like,
So
the early
then
80s.
Schnellenberger came
Yeah.
in, and he started recruiting in the
All
state of
the
Miami.
hood.
So he was like going into the hoods with his big like pipe, you know, it's like a classic 1982 man with his big smoking pipe. And he said he would like leave it on the couches of the kids he was trying to recruit so that they'd have to bring it back to him, or they would have it as like a keepsake, you know.
Yeah, then,
Can you imagine these people in the hood? They probably wanted to like shoot this man. It was like, he's like, who's this cracker think he is? Like,
Just rolling up in the hood to like take these kids.
like,
But it worked, you know. It was kids that
Yeah.
basically grew up playing street football, and they won national championships.
running from the cops. So
Yeah.
you know they're fast.
if someone, like, if a program like that was nothing before then can convince kids like that to go to that school with no tradition prior, like,
I mean-
eventually, if Pruitt's a good coach, he'll get the talent back at Tennessee.
I also think
From
once
what-
he thins out Butch Jones's prospects that he got, it'll go a whole lot smoother too.
Which, like, I've seen so many Tennessee fans, like, just since the game Saturday saying that Garantano was horrible and he played awful. Like, he completed, like, I don't remember, it was like 15 of, like, 22 passes or something like that. And he only had, like, 170 yards and a touchdown. But, I mean, if you watch the game, he was accurate. Like, he was getting rid of the ball early. And, like, last year, my dude would hold the ball for, like, 20 seconds and then just get murdered.
Did they give this grad transfer a shot?
No.
I think he's playing this week. So
I mean, we should
everyone's
be up,
playing this
We
week.
should be up enough by halftime that
that's what's funny is who was it? All these early games, like even the Ohio State one where they played Oregon State, which is basically an FCS team.
yeah.
I always think it's funny how everyone makes a big deal. Like everyone's talking about Ohio State's like the real deal because they won 77-31. It's like I mean, anyone could win that much if they're playing their starters the entire game against a trash team.
Oklahoma, too. Like, I know last week, I'll let my bias get in the way. And I picked FAU because I love Lane Kiffin. But, I mean, realistically, it's FAU. They don't have the talent that Oklahoma does. So, obviously, they should blow them out. And now everybody's riding Kyler Murray's dick in all of Oklahoma when, like, they should beat FAU that bad. They're just that much more talented.
Well, Florida Atlantic's still a mid-major school, regardless of who's coaching them.
They're in the Conference USA. I mean, they shouldn't compete with somebody like Oklahoma.
Mm-mm. Which, speaking of mid-major schools, I really just put this game on here because it's MTSU's home opener, and this is the first time that they will be selling alcohol in Floyd Stadium. So,
when's this?
Iconic.
Is this Saturday?
This is Saturday.
What time?
I said
They
we gotta
have
go get a
free food beforehand, and you can buy beer in the
What
stadium
time's this
now.
game?
And they play FAU in a couple of weeks.
I am going to that. That's our salute to veterans game. So
I
they hand out.
to go to Saturday.
They hand out free
Might be able to hit
T-shirts.
this game before.
But I went and saw MTSU play Vandy this past week, and
Oh, did they play?
I don't know.
I mean, I saw the people on the field, but I
Listen.
didn't see them playing.
This was the worst passing game I have ever witnessed in front of my eyes. Like, every single pass was, well, I guess not every single pass. I think he was 24 and 36. I just looked at it a minute ago. But there were so many passes that were in the receiver's hands and just dropped. Like, multiple times, over and over again, it would hit them in the hands and fall. And I'm like, how many times can you possibly fumble the ball around? One time it was considered a fumble, and Vandy scored. Very first play of the drive, they were on, like, the 4-yard line, and threw it, fumbled it, Vandy scored. That's what originally put Vandy up. So, that's why they kicked our ass, because we don't have a passing game.
So wrapping it all up, who do they play this week?
UT Martin. Will be UT Martin. I just put it on here just because I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, well, I don't think
you can drink there now.
I don't think we're counting that as one of the games to pick because that's an obvious one. And last time we did an obvious one, Savannah freaking got her only one of the week picking USC over UNLV.
In my defense,
The Trojans definitely went in on that one, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I'll save that for later. Wes is a MT alum, or MT student.
Yes.
You going to be going to games turning up?
I will not. I have to work every Saturday, known to mankind, until I become a teacher. So, sadly, no.
Okay.
Instead of true blue, I am fake blue.
Do they have that Henny for all the students that really love that?
I doubt they have Henny. Probably.
Absolutely not.
Probably just beer.
If they, speaking of schools selling alcohol, did anyone see where LSU?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
their whole stadium is like decked up with like
with the
shoots and all these different
Yeah, the chute.
yeah, and stuff like that. And it's like the cops are gonna have a field day with that over the weekend.
Campus police is going to be busy.
All right, so what's some of the games?
All right.
Our first actual picks.
Let's just start down here. We got number 18 Mississippi State at Kansas State. I don't remember what the spread was on that game, but it was just like 6 or 7 points. So
I'm taking the boys in purple and the old man. I mean, K-State over everything.
Bill Snyder might have a heart attack on the sideline.
Mississippi State more like miss me with that BS State. You know what I'm saying? Kansas State over everything.
Oh my god.
You're literally hard.
Savannah, who you got?
I got Mississippi State. Kansas State can't pull off an upset like that.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna have to rock with Mississippi State too, because you seen last week in LSU what happens when a non-SEC school tries to beat somebody.
Or maybe it was just the team in purple that won. You know what I'm saying?
But they wear white, so no. And they wear yellow.
They have purple
pants,
stripes.
So no.
Dumbass.
Okay, let's just
Wrong.
Roasted.
let's keep it rolling. Robbie, who you got? Nothing to see here.
I don't really know too much about Kansas State.
Who does?
They're not that
Good for
important.
them.
I know they're a mid-level Big 12 team, so I'm going to Mississippi State by more than 6.
Oh.
Okay.
How about you, Wes?
I also go with Mississippi State.
Oh. my God.
Apparently, the Wildcats have a lot of starters coming back on offense, but I just don't know how much that would mean against Mississippi State's defense. So
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to have to go with those MS Bulldogs.
Did they get Fitzpatrick back?
He comes back this week. Who did they play last week? Their backup quarterback went off last week. I don't know who they played.
Mississippi State,
Yeah.
they played like D2 school or something
Oh,
like that,
okay.
I think. They played, hold on.
I mean, they get Fitzgerald back this week, too, so.
Let's
Yeah,
just
Mississippi State played like Stephen F. Austin
Oh,
last
yeah.
game, and they beat them 35-3, so obviously, I mean,
What's the point of even having football teams at schools like that?
I really do hate that like when big time, like D1 primetime teams schedule just teams that they know they're going to shellac. Like,
Kind of like Tennessee
I-
playing ETSU this week. Like, what's the purpose?
exactly.
It'd be like
But I
that
mean, there's some
sometimes.
teams who need games like that, like
Tennessee
Miami, 'cause they know
needs a
their
game like
ass.
that.
well, listen to some of these
Miami
games
is
that
also
Alabama is playing this year. All right, so yeah, they play Louisville, but then they play Arkansas State, Louisiana Lafayette, and
Oh my
then
God.
the Citadel.
I swear to God, I'm going to kill him if he says Lafayette
So like,
one more time.
they're playing 3
Right.
insane scrubs.
Ryan, it's Lafayette.
No, this one is
Say it
Lafayette.
like a true Tennessean. Come on.
This is French. Wes, back me up.
It is indeed Lafayette.
Wes, I thought we were homies.
Wes that history major, so
Wes
he
is a fake
knows.
boy.
If I was, all right, let me say it like this. If I was referring to the biggest town in Macon County, I would say Lafayette. If I was referring to anywhere else, literally, or anybody else, I would say Lafayette.
You're a fake boy.
Lafayette's got that that theater. It's just one screen, but it's only like $2.
I didn't know that.
You can go see a movie like they do Sunday night, Monday night movies for $2, and even popcorn is
Damn,
like
I didn't know
$3.
that.
So you
This is
can
your
take
fun fact for the pod.
you could take a date to Lafayette, Tennessee, for like
$2.
$10.
Or you can take your sister, which is probably the same thing.
Probably the same thing with Lafayette.
Lafayette
Shots
probably is.
Okay, Savannah, what's the next game?
Anyways, we have number 13 Penn State at Pitt. Who you got, Ryan?
Oh. You know what? ACC over the Big Ten. I'm going with the Pitt Panthers. All right, Larry Fitzgerald went there, and yeah, while it might have been a long time ago, the magic is going to be there at Heinz Field. So I'm taking the Panthers. Who you got,
Why?
Savannah? Look, I don't have any answers. I just know that they're the upset masters. Okay. They're always in a game.
Are they? Are they really?
I
Yeah.
mean, last year they did upset Miami, and the year before that they upset
That's not an
Clemson.
upset. It's Miami.
Dude, but
I
At
swear
the
to God, I'm
time,
going to kill
Wes.
everybody.
I agree, but at the time Miami was undefeated,
And weren't they ranked top 5?
and probably top 5 in the country. And the year before, the year that Clemson won the national championship, they did beat Clemson.
And let's not even talk
Okay.
that Penn State almost lost to Appalachian State last
Look,
week.
teams gonna have to
Okay.
learn. Stop scheduling App State the first week of the
Yeah.
season.
App State is a Giants player.
Like they're not
Well,
that
their
good the
schedule.
rest of the season. But you don't mess around and schedule them week 1.
No.
That's the recruiting pitch. Is like, look, play hard 1 week, and then
You'll be remembered forever.
we don't need trophies. We just want big moves. All right, that's not.
I'm gonna go Penn State just because they got some tough opponents coming up, and they're gonna be wanting this win while they can get one, because they're not gonna beat Ohio State or Michigan State or Michigan, Wisconsin. They're not gonna beat any of those teams.
That's a hot take because Michigan sucks.
Penn State's not gonna beat them though.
Dang.
Just saying.
That sounds like Miami.
What? I'm probably gonna pick them in a few weeks because I'm gonna be like, I'll be drunk again and just.
Oh my god. What do you got?
I'm gonna have to go with Pitt just because, like, when you play a bad game, it usually you just can't jump off and play your greatest game the week after. And they played really shitty, like extremely shitty. So I feel like Pitt's gonna come in there, and Penn State's not gonna be ready for what Pitt's gonna handle.
The only teams that I've ever seen like come back from like really crappy games is like the Ohio States and the Alabamas that like they might lose one week and then the next week they come back and beat like someone that's just insanely good by like 30, and it's like the whole week people have been doubting them and then they just destroy them. All right, so you picked Pitt. Robbie, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Penn State just because they're more talented. At the end of the day, I think it will be a close game because it is a rivalry game. But I don't think Pitt gets it done with the upset this week against Penn State. But they will probably knock somebody off later in the year.
Hey, Wes, who you got?
I'm also going to go with Penn State, and here's why. I'm going with the opposite reasoning that Atwood had. I actually think that Penn State's close call last week will make them play better. It's going to be like a wake-up call for them. So I'm going to go with Penn State, but also because, I mean, you know, it's early in the season, but Penn State is ranked number 13, and Pitt is not ranked at all. So that's my logic.
Oh my gosh. So basically, me and Atwood are the only smart ones in here.
I don't know about that, Chief.
I think Pitt will upset somebody this year, but I don't think it's going to be Penn State.
So then what's the next one?
They are
Does that
ACC,
sound
right?
redneck?
Mm.
So it'd probably Miami.
Is it really an upset at that point if they're not top 5? If only you
Anyways.
guys could see the looks that we get every time we throw shade at Miami.
It's
And
about to be a mass murder down here.
And
Sorry.
Savannah just wrote something that said, F. Robbie, Atwood, Ryan, Wes, and Mark Richt.
How
All right?
dare you say that about a good Christian man, Mark Richt?
He may be a good Christian man, but I don't really like him as a coach. So.
It's kind of like
He does his best. Okay, what else can you ask?
he's the coach version of Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Big facts.
Damn. That was the most low-key diss I've ever come across in the wild.
Oh.
True, though. It's
Yeah,
very
it
true.
is
It's
true.
totally true.
All right. Up next, we have number 15, Michigan State at Arizona State.
I don't really have any reason other than it's a little bit of a travel. But the Wildcats are about to bear down on D'Antonio. I'm taking Arizona State.
Who's the Wildcats? Arizona State.
Oh, no, crap.
Sun Devils.
Sun Devils,
Sun
you
Devils.
idiot.
I just pulled
You just that up.
Golly.
y'all are going to go back and this part's just going to be missing.
Nope.
No, actually, who's the Sun Devils? What's the name of the coach?
Herm Edwards.
Yeah, Herm Edwards. That's the funniest thing
My
of the
dude
off season.
didn't even know.
He gets hired there.
That the team he is currently the head football coach of, he did not know that their mascot was the Sun Devils.
It was like the Devils tribute or something.
Yeah,
it was some name.
It was Sun Devils like tribute or Times or something like that.
And the guy said, "Where's that at?" And he was like, "We're with the school." And he's like, "I'm a Catholic man. Devils, get that out of here."
He
It's
said,
like,
"You need to watch that Devil stuff."
it's like, but yeah, I mean, I just think this is a really long trip, and using what Gronkowski said. You know why you go to Arizona State once you see the pool parties, okay? He went to Arizona, but you know why you go to Arizona. The whole state's like that, so.
Okay.
James Harden went there for a reason, so. Did he go to Arizona State? That would make me look like I was wrong, and I was. Okay, yep. I'm taking Arizona State. I'm done with this topic. Savannah, who you got?
I also have Arizona State this week. Really, I don't remember why I picked them now.
Okay.
Here we go. Repeat of last week.
So, the spread was not much on this game. And so I looked into it, but now I don't remember why. But anyways, go Sun Devils.
Oh, I just now remembered why I picked Arizona State. Because my boy Pat Tillman. I support the troops and I support him, and he's a proud Sun Devil. So.
Pat Tillman was a lib, though.
Well, I mean, he still died for our country. So
Hey, according
don't disrespect him.
According to Ryan's uncle,
mean-
if you're a lib, you're going to hell, so.
Cool.
That's not my uncle.
I mean, Wes's uncle.
Hey, don't.
Okay, hold on. Technically, this has nothing to do with this, but technically, Pat Tillman was killed by, like, friendly fire, so he kind of didn't even die for the country. He kind of just got killed by his...
Wes,
Bye,
quit making us laugh about something like that.
Wes, why does this happen every week when we're talking about a serious topic and
Look.
about people dying, and you just make a fucking joke about it?
Look, okay, he got killed by his homies. Look, it be your own friends.
Atwood, who you got?
Yeah, well, let's just go.
I don't really know much on either team. Because, I mean, who really watches Arizona State or Michigan State?
Oh, my God.
True
But-
that.
That's a big
Yeah.
fact. That's a move.
But looking at Savannah's picks from last week, I'm going to have to go with Michigan State. So, I think I'm in the clear.
Well, to be fair, last week I got drunk and made my picks as I got drunk. This week I made my picks before I got drunk.
Oh, so this time she's getting them all right.
She just can't remember why she
I
picked
don't
who
remember
she
why I picked
picked.
them, but I did pick them.
All right, so you said Michigan State.
Yeah.
Who you got, Robbie?
I'm going to go Michigan State. I'm going to go with the coach that knows what his mascot is and that has coached college football before.
Listen, you ain't got to know what your mascot is to win football games.
But have you ever seen him smile? That's the real question.
Who cares?
Oh, my. Wes is a Roman historian. Who you got in this game?
Well, they're the Spartans, not the Romans.
I know, that's why I didn't know if there was a beef there and you was going to pick Arizona State.
Well, I see what you're saying. I don't... Michigan State struggled in their opener, and Arizona State looks like they have more of like a resounding win.
Who knows
But,
what
like,
else they play, though?
There's really not any kind of indicator. Like ESPN has Michigan State as at
A
65%
6-point favorite.
chance to win.
They're a 6-point favorite, too.
Yeah, I mean,
That's not bad for it being an away game for them.
that's not bad. I kind of have a feeling towards Arizona State. I can't explain it. It's just, that's what it is.
That's exactly what it is. You damn right, Wes.
Okay, here's my reason. Are you ready?
Yep.
Y'all ready? All right.
Texas,
In Arizona,
San Antonio.
it's hot. and in Michigan, it's cold.
Ooh.
So it's about to be a lukewarm matchup.
The game is at Arizona.
It's at Arizona, though, so that really could throw off the team to be in, like, a different climate than they're used to.
Advantage Arizona State. And I also think I saw somewhere that it's going to be like 108 degrees or something.
Arizona's like the hottest state.
Yeah, so it's going to be rough if you're like used to playing in Michigan to like, go down and play at 108 degree weather. So yeah, I'll take Arizona State.
We're going to have
forecast
a repeat of
is 108.
That's insane.
What team was it that had a player die at practice? We talked about a couple weeks ago.
Maryland.
This is going to be.
This is not funny.
This is going to be a repeat of Maryland.
Savannah's trying to make
man.
Okay, on to the next.
Yeah, let's just move on.
Let's go. Oh gosh, let's go Clemson at Texas A&M. My heart's wanting me to go with the upset here with Texas A&M. So I'm gonna do it. Jimbo's gonna get his first signature win.
Oh my god.
Signature win.
That is a hot take, my friend.
The 12th man is gonna be showing itself, and the Aggies.
That's against the law.
The Aggies are going to allow Clemson to score as many touchdowns as they have cheerleaders. 0. A&M by a lot.
By a lot?
Is there any factual, fact
okay.
behind that?
A&M doesn't have any female cheerleaders. It's just male.
Oh.
Who cares?
I was just making up random stuff.
Who cares?
Oh my god.
He's just talking out his ass.
My heart wanted to go with Texas A&M because
Then do it. It's a good feeling.
my boy Ryan Tannehill came out of Texas A&M.
Oh my god.
Savage.
I know how much Robbie loves him,
Savannah,
so
I hate to tell you, but Ryan Tannehill sucks. And Miami wasted the number 7 overall pick on my dude. And then turned around and gave him like $70 million.
Listen.
And has never made the playoffs.
I got a Ryan Tannehill jersey, and I will proudly wear it till the day I die.
Better get ready to
I
burn
went
that
as
in a couple
Ryan
years.
Tannehill for Halloween. Okay, I love him, regardless of how he plays.
Hold on.
My favorite Ryan.
Whoa.
Throw your ass under the bus.
All right, who you
Real
picking?
quick.
Anyways, that being said, I'm going to go with Clemson because they're just the ACC powerhouse this year. As much as I hate to say that.
Oh, Atwood, who you got?
I'm going to have to go again with Clemson because, Mr. Lawrence and Mr. Bryan combo is a deadly combo. Running 2 quarterbacks, like as dangerous as they are, it's if they keep playing like they did week 1, which I know they didn't play anybody, but they're going to be hard to handle.
Does anyone notice how funny the names are of these head coaches, like Dabo and Jimbo? That's redneck. All right, so you took Clemson. Robbie, who you got?
I'm going to go with Clemson. I think they just have way too much talent, kind of like what Atwood was saying. If they slow down Kelly Bryant, they can just throw in
Trevor Lawrence,
arguably the best freshman quarterback in the nation, and just let him come in and sling it around a little bit. I don't think A&M is going to be that great this year, but I think Jimbo will get them turned around. But, someone kind of left them in a similar situation as Butch Jones did. He didn't recruit, SEC-type players at A&M.
That's pretty wild, though, to, go from Florida State. Just leave Florida State to go to A&M.
He got paid.
Yeah.
He got paid a lot.
He got paid.
Wes, who you got?
What'd you pick?
All right. I've got Clemson, and here's why.
Let's hear it.
If you rearrange the letters in Dabo Sweeney's name, you know what you get?
No?
You get Dab, Wins, and a whole bunch of gibberish. So,
I like it.
I'm gonna go. Definitely going. I am going with the Fighting Davos this time around. Also, they're like number 2, and there's like a massive talent differential. But other than that, Dabo wins, baby.
Oh my god.
All right, biggest game of the week. Number 3, Georgia. At number 24, South Carolina.
I think you mean second biggest game of the week. We'll get to
The
our
second
game of the
biggest
week
game of the week. I mean,
in a minute.
Messing up just like Miami.
This is a SEC matchup, which it just means more. So
God.
our picks are definitely
Best
going to have to be on point here.
SEC just means more.
I've heard so much saying that the fake USC is going to be really good this year. But I've got to go with Georgia. I've almost took all my hot takes I can this week. So, Georgia, I don't think it's going to be close. Savannah?
I also have Georgia. They've got talent this year. South Carolina's not going to overpower them.
I'm about to go with Georgia as well because Georgia's got a hell of a defense.
Dang, this is the most boring look.
I'm gonna go with Georgia too. Like they're way more talented. I don't really understand like the notion all of a sudden that South Carolina is just this great football team.
MTSU.
But you've seen that too. Like I don't know why.
Like I just don't get it. Like
MTSU beat South Carolina 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Just keep that in mind.
Will Muschamp was the head coach then. Like I just like he was at Florida for what 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
This is his 3rd year at South Carolina. And you can get a lot more talent at recruiting at Florida than you can South Carolina. I don't understand the notion.
There's just a lot of talent in states like Florida and
Georgia.
Texas.
Hey, MTSU did not play South Carolina.
Who was it they beat in the SEC?
Missouri.
I guess
enough.
same
We'll
thing,
roll
right?
with it.
Same difference. Both garbage teams in the SEC.
South Carolina's on a
move
1-game
on.
winning streak against MTSU because they're 1-0. Wes, who you got in this day? Georgia,
Yeah.
South Carolina.
Man, you gotta go with Georgia. Bad as I hate to say it, you gotta go with Georgia. I'm like Robbie. I don't even know. Like South Carolina's ranked number 24, and I literally have no clue where that's coming from. Like
Yeah.
I literally could not name a single player on South Carolina's roster if my life depended on it.
Like if Muschamp was a good coach, he'd still be at Florida.
Yeah.
Because it's so much easier to get talent there.
Mm.
So I don't know why people all of a sudden think that like this is just a great football team at South Carolina.
Well,
I wonder if it's maybe like
No
I
one
wonder
did
if it's a product of just like the fact that they're in the SEC and that kind of like makes you know what I'm saying? Like everybody kind of overrates any SEC team just by virtue of the fact that they play in the SEC.
I guess it's probably because they probably won their last 2 or 3 ball games last year, and like I'm pretty sure they won their bowl game. But who did they play in their bowl game last year? Like, was it anybody worth a shit?
who even cares?
I don't know. I'm not gonna look into it that deep. I don't get where it came from that they're just like a really good football team all of a sudden.
Well, I think it kind of ties in, but I might have a little bit of an answer on why people think they're that good. It goes into our game of the week. All ties.
South Carolina played Michigan last year in the 2018 Outback Bowl, and they actually beat them. They won. They was like 26-19, and Michigan was 8-4, as was South Carolina. So,
Meh.
Kind of sounds like a Miami and the other team matchup.
not great, not bad, but
If Harbaugh's not careful,
He's on the hot
he
seat.
might be out of a job next year if he does not turn this shit around.
yes.
Because he doesn't have a whole lot of excuses now. He has Shea Patterson. His defense should be pretty good. He just ain't got it.
Last
Jim
game of the
Harbaugh.
week.
Jim Harbaugh. This ain't it, Chief.
This ain't it, Chief.
All right, going back to what I was saying, the ties here on why South Carolina is getting the calls from the AP is because these men are meaning to vote for the other USC and just click the wrong thing. We got Southern Cal, number 17, at number 10, Stanford. Let's just say that the running game, or USC's run defense, was busted last week as they gave up 308 yards on the ground to UNLV. I really think that these trees are not going to be. I don't even know. I'm trying to make something out of
You're
nothing.
grasping at straws.
Let's just say that the real wood being slung is going to be from Stanford and Bryce
Hell
Love.
yeah.
There'll be plenty of love making going on this week.
Ron, you started off, I didn't know where you were going with that.
Alright.
But you finished strong.
So, I love playing on the.
I know where this is going.
No, I love playing on the mode on NCAA 16 where you can play as the mascots, and I really like to do Stanford versus Western Kentucky.
When you hand the ball off to the running back, he just the running back.
It
for
just,
Stanford,
like,
it just goes in his
Absorbs
mouth.
it, yeah. So, I like to play as like the trees or the red blobs, either one. So, but, like USC is going to give it to them this week.
Oh.
Oh,
All right, this is Atwood's first USC game he's picking.
No, they don't pick some
Hell
last year.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, of the season.
Oh, the
As it
season.
ties, you better have a good joke to go with it, buddy. All right, who you got winning?
I'm going to have to go Stanford, which I didn't know USC gave up over 300 yards rushing, but you have a Heisman candidate, Bryce Love, behind a massive line. And he's
Massive.
he's going to dick them down good.
You could say that USC has a massive D. You know what I'm saying? No,
Nope.
No, they don't.
the opposite of what we were saying.
Okay, if the final score of this was
US
like 6-9, I would love it. Like,
That would be nice.
nice.
USC, their run game's good, so I think they're just going to penetrate Stanford's defense.
6-9 in
Yeah.
the fourth quarter with 20 seconds left. 69-420.
Blaze them trees. Yep. All right, Robbie.
I don't really have an innuendo, but I was going to pick USC because I really liked some of the things their true freshman quarterback did last week until Ryan rattled off that stat where UNLV rushed for 308 yards last week. So I'm going to have to go with Stanford and Bryce Love poking holes all in the Trojans this week.
Yup. Wes, I know this is what you've been waiting all week for. Who you
Alright.
got?
Here we go. Alright. So, by the end of this game, Stanford is going to erect a monument in the middle of the Trojans field after
They're playing at
dominate-
Stanford.
Oh, they're still gonna. Damn. Okay. Well, nevertheless, Stanford will erect a monument to them dominating the Trojans and making them call them daddy. I guess. I don't know. I was going for the. I don't know. Whatever.
You disappointed me.
I was so pumped that this was like the game of the week, and then it's
Yeah,
really a hard
sorry.
team to like come up with funny stuff
I
about.
just want to let y'all know that since we've been picking USC games, me, you, and Wes have pretty much picked USC every single game. This is the first time y'all are turning their back on them. So, y'all, you're fake as hell. So,
Usually when you turn your back and a Trojan's involved, it's not good.
Oh no.
Atwood picking up the slack where I left off. Respect, homie.
Oh my. All right, well, I think that wraps it up for as far as our picks go. But
I'm the only one that picked USC, and it's happening.
No, Savannah. Go home.
Y'all gonna be wrong as hell.
Go home, you're drunk. Buzz driving is fun driving. No, I'm just kidding. If anyone's listening, that is not true.
Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Smirnoff condones drinking and driving.
We're trying to get sponsored.
We're trying to get sponsored.
Smirnoff does not condone drinking and driving.
I will wait at least an hour before I drive home.
A couple.
Yo, I'm feeling it though, for real.
Oh my god. We can tell. All of our viewers can tell. This is the drunkest I ever been.
I said that at least 3 times while we were in PCB. Every night I'd be like, holy shit, I've never been this drunk.
Speaking of games, TCU's bringing home the skillet this week in the Battle of the Iron Skillet.
They're playing SMU. Who gives a f***?
Dude, we lost to them 6 years ago, my dude, alright? I literally was pissed whenever we lost to SMU. Who loses to them?
Ryan.
TCU does.
Nobody cares. I'm gonna just let you know that right now.
Bro, alright.
Is this game even, like...
It's probably not even televised.
Alright, want to know, though. Want to know.
Okay, I tried to look up stats on the MTSU. I tried to look up, like, the stats on the MTSU UT Martin game. There's, like, there's no betting line. There is no information about UT Martin's, like, lineup at all.
All I need to know is Ty Joe plays for UT Martin, and that's enough for me to pick MTSU.
MTSU's going to win by 90. Easy dub.
So I've got one last not football related topic to talk about.
Oh god.
How'd y'all feel about Kamikaze?
Haven't listened to it.
Fire. My boy M is back and MGK is dead.
No, M is not back. Slim Shady is back. That's the important thing
I'm
to
just
take
saying,
away from this.
Red Devil, it was hot.
I have not listened to it.
I hadn't heard Kamikaze though.
I didn't like Red Devil. It was just like, hey Eminem, you're old. Oh, Anna, you're old. And also, you're old.
And he also called him the greatest, like, 10 times. So if you're coming for someone's throat, why are you going to call him the greatest?
He had to put some respect for him.
You got to put some respect on his name.
He was saying you good, but your time's over, old man.
That would be like Butch Jones going into rivalry week against Bama and being like, look, we got 5-star hearts, and y'all do too. But Saban, you're old, dude.
There's nothing to say.
You're old.
Nothing to say.
Butch Jones. Sorry.
Butch Jones is MGK, and Butch Jones took L's.
If Butch Jones ever stumbles across this podcast, I need you to block me on Twitter.
I want Butch on the podcast.
At
that would
Robbie
be great.
Woodard 34. Block me, please.
My ass is going numb.
I just want to ask, who was listening to Machine Gun Kelly before he dropped that disc?
You mean Marshall gonna kill me?
Me?
You were listening to Machine Gun Kelly.
Bro, him and Kid Rock's got that one song is fire.
One song, okay.
First off, that's highly problematic. You're saying MGK and Kid Rock?
And Kid Rock?
You're canceled.
Okay, first of all...
You're canceled.
Name me one of...
I think it's called Bad Motherfuckers too.
If anybody can name me a Machine Gun Kelly album, then they can say all they want to.
Lace up. I just named it. It's got a shoelace on it.
Were you bumping that album?
Yes.
Have you heard every song on that album?
Yes.
Ryan's a dumbass.
Ron, a closet
My point
But
is...
he's also canceled.
My point is he's low quality.
That album was literally released 6 years ago, Ryan. I don't know if that counts.
Dude, that was his first one, though.
General Admission from 2015?
Well, let's see. He has Slim Goods on that album.
The only Machine Gun Kelly song I have on my phone is Wild Boy, and it's that remix of it with
I'm telling
a bunch
you,
of
you're
people.
missing out.
Wild Boy, this is what that was on.
Yeah, bitch.
Okay, anyone got anything?
MGK's best album, his absolute peak as an artist, he sold 263,000 copies.
That's garbage. Okay,
Yikes.
on the top 10 best-selling rap albums of all time, Slim Shady owns 2 of those.
Because they ain't giving my boy Chance enough credit.
You see, MGK has, like, one, he only has 3 full albums. I mean, he's got several mixtapes, but, like you can't be a serious artist if you don't release several, like, full-length, you know, really thought-out albums. Like, you're trash. Not only that,
Yep.
of the 3 albums that he's put out in his entire career, not one has been rated anything higher than gold. Like, his second album sold 56,000 copies. Didn't even get certified. Anything. Not gold. Nothing. He's trash.
I would have to say since like 2013 when Marshall Mathers dropped his album, he's went downhill from there.
What would y'all say is Eminem's worst album?
Hey, in 2013, he won Woody of the Year, though. You know what I'm saying, by MTV.
I would say the Marshall Mathers LP2, the one he dropped in 2013.
That's
I don't like it.
That's
I think
wrong.
it's terrible.
I would say Encore.
Relapse.
Encore or
trash.
Relapse are his 2 worst.
Encore, get the... Girl, that's the
Ryan,
best.
drop it. Just say it. Just say it. You want to say it. Just drop that
Encore is one
F-bomb.
of the top albums of all time. Oh my gosh.
You got Cinderella Man.
Encore has that. Encore has heaters on it, okay?
How many times that one go platinum?
I don't know. It had Light Toy Soldiers, okay?
Banger.
Ass Like That,
Banger.
Banger, Mockingbird,
Double
Bang.
I
banger.
mean, okay, Relapse, which
Just Lose It, Banger.
Banger.
Like, you can't say it's trash. when it's
Savannah,
got-
Hold
okay,
on.
take
Hold
your
on.
drunk ass
I'll
home.
say Relapse was not that good though.
I don't think
Can we agree on that? Relapse
Recovery
was not
wasn't
that
that
good.
good either, was
Uh,
it?
Relapse and Recovery, neither one were that
But
good.
on
But
Recovery,
Relapse still sold 608,000 copies, which is better
It's
than
more
Machine
than
Gun
Machine
Kelly's
Gun Kelly.
best album.
on Recovery though, he had a good a lot of bunch.
That's
Ugh.
triple
Damn, I
Machine
can't
Gun
talk.
Kelly's best album on
Okay, I
Eminem's
just wanna-
worst album.
I think that's
I just-
Machine Gun Kelly's like total sales.
I just want to bring some facts and logic into this real quick. All right, Eminem has not had an album that was not. Okay, hold on. Basically every album that he's released since the Slim Shady LP released in 1999 has went at least platinum. At least.
Well, that's what he said in one of his songs.
The
He was
goat.
like, "It's bad when you've." It's not exactly what he said, but he was like, "It's bad when a platinum record is considered failing." Something
Right.
along those lines, like, "My album still went platinum, and y'all are gonna say it's my worst." I didn't even
Exactly.
include that one. What's the name of the one he released a few months ago? That has "Walk on Water" on it and stuff.
That was Revolver.
The Revival, yeah. That one was not. It was good. It just wasn't like classic Eminem. It was kind of like he was trying to update his style, and everybody was like, "Hell no, we want Slim Shady back." Like,
I want you talking about
scream about shoving a
killing
gerbil in your
everybody.
ass and like killing people.
But the real important thing is though, his daughter Haley though. She's babe.
Hey, that's why MGK's getting
That's-
shots fired at him. Is because
I'm
he
pretty
said
sure
something
he
about.
mentioned Haley in the
Oh, he
diss
did.
too.
Yeah.
Eminem's about to fucking. He's gonna actually murder him.
He might, yeah. Somebody needs, like, they need a bodyguard.
Like he's actually gonna put a hit out on him.
Somebody, MGK needs a bodyguard, like a SWAT team around him at all times.
Y'all see
Yeah.
his like tattoos though? He's got like tattoos of suspenders.
No,
yes, he
that's
has
it.
It's dumb
suspenders
as hell.
tattooed on it.
That ain't
So-
it,
which-
Chief.
Somebody said earlier that like Eminem posted is like an Instagram or Snapchat story or something of him playing an old Pac-Man game. Apparently, MGK has a Pac-Man tattoo on his neck, and it's supposed to symbolize that Eminem's coming for his neck.
Oh, I think it's funny.
People dive too deep into those.
Yeah, I'll say that's, like, people are stretching.
I think it's funny. Eminem was throwing shots at everybody, and he like threw a shot at Tyler the Creator and like made a homophobic
Tyler
reference.
Creator is also crazy and also
Yeah.
might try and kill Eminem.
Tyler the Creator has said numerous Tyler the Creator has said way worse stuff about gay people, But Eminem, that's been his thing his whole time, and people are like super mad about it. But we're forgetting this man dropped like
Slim Shady
Stand with
is
Elton John. Okay, if Elton John messes with him, man, it can't be too bad.
See, I gotta take a little respect away if he went after my boy Tyler the Creator. He's
Well,
got some bangers.
He just like basically just called him a faggot in the.
Didn't he say like if it wasn't for
Not
him,
saying
there
that
wouldn't
that's
be
like a good
no
word to use, but
Tyler the Creator? And he went after my boy Hobson too.
he called him.
Hobson's got some bangers. He's going after wrong people.
He's just going at.
He's going at like Chris Stapleton,
So he did.
Thomas Rhett.
Thomas Rhett.
That ain't even got nothing to do
Imagine if rappers just started going at country music people like, hey Toby Keith, you're trash. Like just going in on him. Like Keith Urban, go back to Australia. It's like.
Toby Keith would not have ever had a career if it wasn't for 9/11. That's my hottest take. I think.
Wait, what did he just say?
He said Toby Keith wouldn't have had a career if it wasn't for 9/11. It might
That's
be
the
true,
truth.
though.
That is the truth.
Same
You
for
can
Pete
get mad at
Davidson.
it if you want, but that is the truth.
What about Pete Davidson?
Pete Davidson, same thing.
Leave the 9/11 stuff off the podcast.
Oh.
On Kamikaze, he does have like some voicemails where he's calling Paul, which is a common theme throughout his
Paul Bunyan.
not quite.
It's like his
Throughout
agent.
all of his albums, he has like voicemail recordings where he was calling Paul and calling back. And Paul, like in Kamikaze, he's like, do you really think it's the best idea to go after every rapper or everybody that's ever said something bad about you? I mean, like, are you going to release Kamikaze 2 to go after whoever this is on this one? It's just a slippery slope.
What if he's
And
like, yup?
Eminem's like,
Eminem's about it.
he said, answer the fucking phone. He said, I found this guy who gave me a review on Yahoo, and I'm pretty sure I figured out his address. I'm going to his house right now.
And in the background, you just hear like
can hear-
Siri saying, turn left. And it's like.
Slim is about that action.
Especially if you go out to your baby mama. That's when you know you don't care.
Yep.
And his mom.
If he drops a mixtape on his baby, or drops a diss on his baby mama and his mom, he would go
Nobody's
after
safe.
anybody.
Nobody is safe.
I do think it's funny, like, he dropped those, and then, like, a couple of years ago, he was, like, felt really bad about it, so he released that one song, I can't think of.
It was basically him apologizing.
Yeah, basically him apologizing, but it was like, dude, you went in on them. Like,
You can't
it's too
apologize
late.
20 years later.
Yeah,
like,
it's been like 20 years.
you done
dude.
made a whole ass song about the murder of your baby mama. like, with the graphic audio in the background.
What is his other daughter's name? Like, she's never mentioned in a single
Well,
song.
I don't
He
think it's technically his
it's not
daughter.
his daughter.
Oh,
He
it's not?
adopted them. It's two daughters.
okay.
And it's Kim's daughters, but he adopted them.
But
I was about to say, that's kind of
That's
selfish.
why he doesn't
but I
mention
didn't
them.
but Haley Jade's the only one that people know.
Haley's the one that's his actual daughter and was like on his songs and stuff a long time ago.
I'm surprised he didn't diss us for Wes. You remember when we went at and did a remix of his song, the BET Cypher.
Oh yeah, about Trump.
Yeah.
I gotta say that was trash. Like, I don't mean any disrespect, but that was just
I've listened
Oh,
to the
that's
whole
bad.
thing like maybe twice ever, and it's hard to listen to an 8.5 minute song with no music in the background.
yeah.
He don't need a beat. It. He go acapella.
I gotta say, like,
Shout
I
out
told
Amo.
Savannah this today that the Trump rap, that was Marshall Mathers. The stuff where he's like chopping women up and like putting people in his trunk,
Oh.
that is Slim Shady. There's a difference. There's a difference.
I feel like Kamikaze was a mix of the two. Like, he wasn't as psycho, but he was like a little bit crazy on this album too, which I enjoyed it.
Can we also talk about the fact that other than 2 Chainz, every other rapper's like 5'8"? That kind of
Yeah.
bothers
I know.
me.
Why are there so many short rappers? Like,
Like
Eminem
Lil Wayne
is
is
5'8".
actually Lil. You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about Maiden 2.0.
Oh my gosh, dude is actually vertically challenged.
I should read.
No.
He's literally.
Is he like a midget?
Dude, Made in
yes.
Tokyo is probably that tall. Like,
Oh, I remember
seen
you showing
pictures of him sitting on
the.
the cart.
like,
He's
like
literally
there's a
like
rap
fresh-
video of him like beside Big Sean, And like I'm like, okay, he's like they're the same height. He's like standing on the hood of a car. It's like, oh my
Because
god.
Made in Tokyo was in the XXL with a dude who got shot. Crazy guy. Yeah. XX. Well,
Tentacion.
they took it other XL and got him killed.
It says he's about 5 foot tall.
Oh
That's
my
the only
gosh.
information I have is
I
about
think
5
that's
foot.
like, by like
4'10" is considered
a midget. Yeah,
midget.
he's like almost a midget.
All right, guys, we are stretching.
Anyways,
He should
I'm
have
sorry, I
stretched.
shouldn't have brought that up. We were just talking about short rappers, and I couldn't help myself.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we just mentioned Kamikaze taking over iTunes. And
Yes, indeed.
Pod Bois is in the works of taking over the iPodcasts.
By the
So-
way, Eminem's second greatest white rapper ever. Behind my boy Lil Dicky.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
I bought tickets to go see Lil Dicky
Oh,
concert.
no.
I love Lil Dicky, but
Nah, you can't. Pillow Talk, hands down, greatest song ever. Who has John C. Reilly in a music video? Huh? Exactly. End discussion.
That's a
okay, but Eminem has like changed the face of rap multiple times, so and is one of the best-selling rap artists of all time. Anyways,
But does his name got a male genitalia in it? No.
is that what we used to
How we know that?
classify a good rapper now?
And he's Jewish.
Yes.
Huh.
And he even claims he's got a small penis. So he's an honest Jewish guy.
He does own it. I did put him on my list.
Okay. Savannah will not be on the pod next week, but I've just got 2 words. Pod Bois. Oh!